Yeah, baby.
We're on.
Yeah, baby.
Woo it!
Yeah.
You all right?
Well, this is your first take.
All right, ready?
Welcome, gentlemen. This
Not yet. Not yet. Everybody sit. Everybody. All right, ready? Welcome to the morning roast.
morning.
Good morning.
Irving, Derrick,
That's me.
Anthony. This is the show Middle Georgia's been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
Definitely.
show that will make you want to wake up in the morning.
Absolutely.
The
All
morning
right.
show of the 21st century.
That's right. That's right. That's
Actually,
right.
22nd century.
That's right. Not stale.
Not stale.
That's right. So let's go, guys. First topic. You know what I think we should talk about? No one's listening at this time now. I mean, no one ever listens in the first hour.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, really.
So let's talk about something gloomy, glum, depressing.
Yeah.
But let's counteract it with something positive. Okay. Batman. The new Batman movie. Dark Knight Rises. What? 37 million in the opening
Opening day,
or whatever.
One of the largest.
Yeah, right. It's going to end up probably destroying everything.
Well,
Great for Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But then, what had to go and happen? Some schmuck had to go shoot up a theater.
well,
Yeah.
Okay?
it's pretty bad.
It is. So guys, tell me. There's an uproar about gun laws. What do you think? New gun laws?
Well, first, let me, not new gun laws. I think that, it's our very right to have guns. However, I think there needs to be a better system for people to be vetted, whether they can actually own a gun or not.
Right.
I think people need to be checked out, a background check, and it needs to be, a couple of weeks instead of a couple of days.
Well, how do you vet a guy that's got a PhD? I mean, this guy,
I mean,
this
you have
guy,
to look at any kind
this
of
guy,
criminal
this
history.
James Holmes is not a guy that is your
I mean,
your
he was a
stereotypical.
crazy man with a trench
Exactly,
coat.
exactly. I mean, he's got a PhD in what, neuroscience or something? I mean, he's
Something like
a
that.
pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was, but I mean, on paper he's smart. But anyway, how do you vet someone like that, Irvin? How do you vet someone like that?
That's a hard question for anyone to answer,
Right.
really. I mean, but there's got to be a better way to control handguns and control any kind of gun, especially just allowing it. The way it's sold today in bazaars and in gun shows and all that, it just seems very lax. There's got to be, it's a deadly weapon. It's a weapon designed to kill. And so there needs to be some rules of the road as far as how you acquire that gun. Everybody has the opportunity to get the gun. Everyone has the ability to be able to apply for a gun permit. But I don't believe that everybody should get it. I believe there are those who need not go near a gun.
I've got a problem with what you said, but let's go to Derrick.
Mhm.
Derrick, what do you think?
Well, yeah, everyone has the right to, to defend themselves and to bear arms. The thing that I worry about is not just the part that he had the gun. The man had freaking gas mask and tear gas. Now,
Yeah. What's all
guns
that
are one
about?
thing, yeah.
Bulletproof vest.
Bulletproof vest. I mean, unless you're gonna try to find like the rest of Bin Laden's henchmen, what do you need tear gas for?
Right.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it goes back to what I'm saying. I mean,
Well,
here's
maybe
a
he
guy.
was trying to emulate. They say people thought he was trying to look like the villain in the newest movie Bane. Maybe that was what he was trying
Well,
to do.
he-
Well, why
No, he
couldn't
said
why
it's
did
a
he wait
joke.
till Halloween to do that?
I don't
Instead
know.
of just
I don't
shooting
know.
folks.
I'm not standing up for the guy. But this is my disagreement with you, Irvin. Okay, you can never take away the right to bear arms, in my opinion. The thing about it is, gun laws don't change anything. This is going to happen regardless if you have a gun law. People that do things like this are not going to abide by a law anyway, right? The guy could have just as easily gone in with a baseball bat, threw a smoke grenade, started whacking people over the head with a bat, and maybe killed 5 or 6 in the front row with a baseball bat. Would everybody be up in the uproar going, let's ban baseball bats?
Yeah, but
Let's
a
have
baseball bat is meant to hit baseball.
It doesn't
A gun
matter.
is meant to
Or try
kill.
to cancel baseball
But-
season because of
A
baseball.
gun is designed to kill. It is a killing
But that
object.
becomes questionable.
It's not
Is a
a
knife
baseball
designed to kill?
The
Is a
baseball
knife
bat is
designed to
not
kill?
designed to kill.
Okay, so let's change it. He goes into the theater with a knife and not a gun, and he starts whacking people with a machete. Is it designed to kill, or is it just designed to cut your steak at dinner time?
Yeah,
I mean,
knife
you know,
is, but not
you know what I
machete.
mean? But you're not going to start having. You're not going to start having knife laws, are you? Do you remember the guy that slit the kid's throat on the Greyhound bus? Do you remember that? Like a year or two ago, the crazy guy that was sitting behind the young kid on the Greyhound bus, and out of nowhere he saw demons or something. The guy was psychologically messed up, and he slit the guy's throat deep enough to where he almost cut his head off. No one was ever in uproar going, "Hey, let's start having new knife laws."
It's not the same though. It's not the same type of weapon.
Well, see, it depends on what type of knife you're talking about. Did he have like a Rambo knife?
I think he had a Bowie knife, but don't quote me on that. It wasn't a huge knife. I think it was a pocket knife, folded out. I don't know. But my thing is,
But you're not going to be able to kill 30, 40 people with a
But
one
then
knife.
then we start questioning: is one death not worth 40 deaths? I mean, who cares how many he killed? Isn't one death more than enough? If that's what I'm saying. If the guy comes into the movie theater and he starts beating people over the head with a baseball bat, and out of the ones he beats, he only kills one because he beat that one hard enough, it's still a death. It's still someone's family member that's lost, and it's still tragic, right? So my thing is that I'm never for stricter laws on guns. I don't care, because the gun is not the problem. It's the person wielding the gun.
But
The gun's not going to walk in there and shoot people.
But that's one of the problems that I think that we have is, for example, let's go back to this guy again, this Joker.
Right.
Actually, that's what he told the police he was pretending to be.
He dyed his hair.
He dyed his hair and went in and shot the hell out of
But no one saw
everybody.
his hair because he had a helmet on and a gas mask. So
But
it's not
that's going back. That's the point I want to make. Here's a guy that owns a gun, buying gas masks, buying this. Isn't there some kind of a track record or some kind of record keeping that would have really allured to people, would have brought to the attention? Why is this guy buying gas masks? Why is this guy buying tear gas? Why is this guy buying guns? Why? And then from that, they could have assessed, maybe prevented this tragedy from happening. I mean, it's guys like that that I want to prevent from getting guns. Guys who go to these gun shows and they like to collect guns. My brother-in-law's got over 20 guns. I know what it's like once you're a gun buyer.
Well, good for him.
You get addicted to it just like,
But your brother-in-law is a respectable citizen.
Of course he is, and he only uses it for hunting. Really.
So because one schmo or four schmoes in every 3 years that does what this guy does shouldn't be the symbol for gun owners. I just don't really believe that. I just think you can never take away the right to bear arms because that we have to have that in order to keep the government in check. Plain and simple.
But what other alternatives should we have? I mean, like you said, like the guy, if he would had a baseball bat instead of a gun. I mean, if no matter what the number of people that were killed or wounded, no one's not gonna have stricter laws about getting more baseball bats
or knives,
and they're certainly not going to cancel.
I mean, what if a guy comes in and starts killing people with pitchforks?
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly not going to cancel the baseball season.
No.
On bad days, nothing like
exactly.
that. No,
Exactly.
Well, again, it's what it's
guns
used
always
for.
right, but
Guns
guns
are used to kill, to maim, to shoot.
yeah.
How
but
was he able to
But
get
then you
mad?
can say swords are, and then you can say grenades are. Okay, let's say the guy came in with grenades and didn't have guns. Let's say he had just a bunch of grenades. He started throwing grenades.
Based on the fact that he had
Now,
so
most
many
people don't
gas
have
masks.
grenades. I agree. Grenades are not available to everybody, but you can get them if you want to get them. Now, would it be let's have stricter grenade laws because this guy started throwing grenades?
Yeah.
I mean, but people don't
Why
have
not?
grenades. There's not a Bill of Rights
know
that
you're gonna
says
have
everybody has a right
copycats.
to bear grenades.
You know you're going to have copycats. If a
Well,
guy
yeah.
goes in and throws a grenade, you'll have 3 of those happening within a year.
My whole thing is that it's going to happen. I guess, Derrick, you asked the answer. And I guess really the answer is every place just has to supply a sense of security. And that's all you can do. Because I'm
So
telling you,
now we're gonna have what? Armed guards at the theater.
but if that's what has to happen, but I would want.
There are some that
I would want that before I would want them to take the right to bear arms away. I really would, because
Well, they
because
take
you know
our
what's gonna.
freedoms away, but don't take the gun right freedom away.
Well, you don't take any freedoms.
Well, of course, you're gonna have a police state all around you.
Irving, it's a private business. The movie theater, it's a private business. If they want to hire security, they can hire security. That's their right. And the thing about it, I'm not saying security would have stopped this guy from doing what he did. But my point is, to tell you the truth, this is what's going to happen eventually. Maybe not in my lifetime. We all know eventually someone's going to go shoot up a music park. Someone's going to go shoot up a mall. Someone's going to go shoot up a sporting event.
It's always copycats.
It's inevitable, right? Just like we knew eventually someone was going to do this in a movie theater. We just didn't know when. You're not going to be able to stop some crazy guy or girl from doing this.
There needs to be accountability. There needs to be more accountability.
I agree, but it's accountability on the
anybody
person
that purchases a gun. That person has to go, I believe, through, rigorous background check.
You think so?
But as far as like a psychological check before.
Yeah, why not?
But this guy,
you're owning a gun.
This James Holmes would have turned out psychologically able, right?
Just because of his academic background?
Everybody said this guy was not what they expected this guy to do.
So people
he was he was high grades in school. His professors said how well he did. Everybody said he was a nice guy.
Well, see, that's a prejudicial thing because of a person of a certain income and because of their level of education, people just
assume they're normal.
Yeah, assume they're normal. And anyone, like if you have say somebody who made like C's and D's and barely got out of high school and just got a GED, people are gonna think automatically if he or she wants to get a weapon or something, people think he's like he or she's just 2 Sesame Seeds short of a Big Mac, you know?
Yeah.
So gentlemen, let's close it up.
Stricter gun laws.
You think stricter gun laws?
Yeah.
Derrick?
Definitely a psychological check.
Psychological check.
When I say stricter
I
gun
think you
laws,
don't mess
I'm
with
not
the gun.
saying
There's no laws.
I'm not saying stricter gun laws in terms of removing anybody's right from owning a gun. What we're trying to do, what I believe needs to be done, rather, is that we do a better check on an individual's. Everything. You want a gun? Okay. You are gonna now have the ability to take a life, which means we need to know whether even take a picture of your house. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what you do. I want to know more about the people that hang around with you. I want to know what your beliefs are. I want to know what color your socks are if I have to. Because what you're being given is the privilege. To be able to listen. They have a bit of a passion for it. However, I will say this: there just needs to be better vetting of people who decide they want to hold a gun.
But Irving, can you really vet people?
Yeah, yes, you can.
Aren't most of these people that do this the normalest people in the world?
Listen, there are Gallup polls.
Other than like the occasional like Charles Manson, where it's a wacky
give him a
hippie.
Gallup poll.
Other than that, it's always the quiet guy, right? It's always the guy.
What you looking at?
You can't vet.
Are you packing? No, but seriously.
Yeah, why
I'm not packing a gun, but I'm just.
He's packing.
He's packing. Is that allowable?
We'll be here all week.
No, seriously. I think people that want to own guns, they have a vested interest to know how to use a gun, why they're buying the gun. I think everybody needs to know. Why do you want to buy a gun? Because you just want a toy? It's not a pea shooter.
What if he tells you he wants to hunt deer?
A deer with a 44 Magnum.
Well, I don't
or
care.
a Uzi.
I don't care.
What kind of bears are you shooting?
Deer.
That's crap. Deer.
Well, but whatever. You know what I'm saying.
What deer is though? People go around killing deer. What is that all about?
Well, I'm not saying it. I'm not questioning what your reason is. But you have you know the original reason that right to bear arms was put in the Bill of Rights.
Absolutely, it was
Keep
to
the
protect
government
the
in check,
government.
right?
But look,
Militia.
but let's say,
Okay.
what are we gonna do then without guns? Go after government officials? We'll all be thrown in jail for the rest
No,
of our
you
lives.
have the right
So
to
how
have
the hell
that in
does
case
that
the
really
government
apply
wants to
anymore?
get high and mighty on you.
It doesn't
and
even
then wants to come
apply
after
anymore
us.
because then we'd be considered insurgents.
does apply.
We'd be considered terrorists. If the government decided to come after us and we start shooting at the government officials, you think it's going to be like, oh, everybody's going to consider us heroes? They're going to say these guys are maniacs. So that whole concept of militia to protect us against the government is crap. It does not apply because you will be considered a terrorist.
Okay, I see. But what if you,
excuse me.
what if you're, say, what if you're, we'll add the beep later.
Right.
Well, but what if you're,
Hurry up,
what if
there.
you-
We gotta go to commercial.
oh yeah, but what if you say if you're say okay, you don't want the government to get on you as what if you're living in a country where there's a government is really corrupt, like say some Middle Eastern country.
Well, then
like
I don't really care. They
and-
can do
and
whatever they want.
Syria.
They know how to blow each other up.
But
pretty well.
what if this country gets to that level? You don't want to have
It's
the right
already
to
gotten
fight
to that level. It's already.
So you
just
think
had
everybody should just
how
lay
many
out and
people
give up
killed
and
in
like
that
let our
theater?
government throw us in camps?
Oh, you
I
know
mean,
what?
Come on.
We've had some of the worst mass killings in this country.
course.
Some of the worst mass killings were one guy, one lone gunner going in and killing multitudes of people. That, don't you
12
think
and,
that's a symptom to
51
a bigger problem?
58 wounded a few days ago, and let's not forget the ones over in Columbine, the high school.
Right, the Columbines.
And-
How do these kids get
And
guns?
then Virginia Tech.
How does a
32
kid
Well,
in high school
Colorado's
get a gun?
Colorado's kind of like a freaky place. Anyway.
Well, it's part of the United States, and
Yeah.
it's probably the biggest gun runner
Well, it's
around.
been
Hold that thought there. Let's go to commercial. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Continue to join us on the morning roast.
I'll see you soon. See you back. We'll be back.
And we're back with the morning roast. We got our guys, our typical guys here, Anthony.
Typical.
Atypical. We got a very low-key black man, not an angry black man, with our brother Derrick Barrett.
Very passionate.
And you notice he dresses the best
Very,
also.
very.
It was laundry
And
day.
then you got me. Well, listen, I couldn't help it. I had to sleep out last night, and so I actually am wearing yesterday's clothes.
Right.
But I'm glad to be here as well. My name is Irving Martinez, Anthony Harris, Derrick Barrett.
All right.
We're
We've been
pick up
talking
on
about
another
Batman.
topic.
Okay, you want to switch topics?
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm.
You guys want to call in? You call us in. We'll take your call about anything. You want to talk about the Batman shooting? You want to talk about what I think Irvin's about to bring up? Call in. We'll just take your calls at leisure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I want to now talk a little bit about consolidation.
Okay.
Okay.
That's been a hot contested issue here in Macon, especially in Big County, where people are concerned that their taxes are going to be raised and this and that. And I have to say this, for an idea that is so well thought out, they're doing a horrible job in selling it to the public. I really feel like every person that has spoken about consolidation actually has me, who voted for it, decided to vote for it. Not early on, actually, it was later. I was a little concerned about the government being switched around. We already got pretty much a messed up thing going on here. And so I just didn't want to go from bad to worse. But the way they've been selling it has been, it just really is not the way I think you ought to be selling a great idea.
They started too soon, in my opinion.
Well, not only that, they have too many answers that sound like this. Well, we're not sure yet.
Right.
We're not, well, we don't really know. You see, and it's comments like that really scare people into thinking, is this really the right plan for Bibb County? Is this really the right plan for the city of Macon? And so...
Every show needs a cowboy.
So that is and has been one of the concerns that I've had in the way that they've been handling it. I'm talking pro-consolidation. The anti-consolidation movement has been very, very, very good at putting out what they believe or it's going to be the wrong side for us to do this. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about
Go for it.
consolidation and the way it's being sold by the pro consolidation?
I'm pro consolidation for the fact that, as far as the city is concerned, or anything, either you're growing or you're dying. The only reason I'm saying that because as a person who went to University of Georgia, which is in Athens, back in 1990, Athens was consolidated with Clark County, and at that time, Macon had a bigger population than Athens.
We got a call.
Okay.
Got a call.
Hold that thought, Derrick.
All right.
Who do we have? David on the line?
Who's just on the line? Go ahead.
Go ahead. What do you say? Tell our audience what you say.
His question is whether I believe that people on welfare should be drug tested. Yes, I do. And but not only that, I also believe that welfare needs to be given to people who are going to work for it. I like the idea of workfare instead of welfare. And so yes, they should be able to get a drug test just like getting a job. And then from that, they'll be able to receive pay if they work for it. That's what I believe.
Anything else, David?
How would what work? Which part of this? Well, first of all, that we would, like everything else, send them over to the labor department. They would have to pay occasional visits there to make sure that at least they are trying to seek out work.
Take the
And
right to bear
their
arms
job will be to find a job initially. So that's what I believe. Their job will be to find a job initially. And they need to show up at the Department of Labor, and just like calling in for your unemployment check, you would have to show up there in order for you to receive any kind of welfare.
David, do you believe they should drug test welfare recipients?
Yes, absolutely.
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 Okay.
By the way, you a welfare recipient?
Are you calling us on an Obama phone?
Well, that was a joke, a bad one at that.
Yeah.
But listen,
We're
David,
full of them here.
I appreciate your call, and I hope I at least answered honestly what I believe.
Thanks, David. Keep listening to the Morning Roast.
Yes. Drug
Call
testing
back
for
later if you
welfare
want. We
recipients.
take the same caller more than once a day. Unlike other stations.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. So go ahead, Derrick, for that call.
Okay. Yeah.
Consolidation.
Yeah.
We saw Athens, Clark County thrive.
Yeah, they thrived because in 1990, that was also the same year Atlanta was given the bid, won the bid to host the '96 Olympic Games, and because of that, Athens was proactive in growing, their city.
Right.
They consolidated with Clark County.
Hey, baby.
Hey,
Go ahead.
It grew. Clark County grew, and at that time, like I said, it was a much smaller population than Macon was in 1990, before the Olympics. After '96, after the Olympic Games, Athens became bigger than Macon.
Athens is killing it.
Oh yeah.
But that's part to do because of the University of Georgia also.
Well, yeah.
I don't think consolidation has much to do with that because people are going to go to the University of Georgia because it's one of the top colleges in the nation.
Yeah, but if you, well, that's true.
And,
that's true.
Macon has Mercer, which does pretty well, but I mean.
But you have to look at it. If you, even if you included the campus population of UGA, it was still significantly smaller than Macon.
Yeah.
I mean, Macon still had like at least 20,000 more people.
Right.
But it's kind of weird. At the end of the decade, Athens was bigger than Macon in just a few short years. Right?
Yeah.
Before and after the Olympics.
Well, it
like
was mostly from the beginning of 1990 through 2000, the population shrunk by 50,000 people.
Yeah. Well, about that much. Yeah. Close.
Well, I don't agree with Irving about a lot, but the consolidation thing, I kind of agree with him. I think on paper consolidation looks great.
Yeah.
Less is more, less government. But my question is consolidation really less government? Who's to say that these 10 in charge instead of these 21 don't just become more government oriented? Everybody's assuming because less are in there.
Bureaucracy?
Exactly. And my whole thing is everybody assumes that certain members of city council are going to be gone when consolidation happens. That's presumption. How do you know you don't get the 10 worst people remaining under consolidation? What are they going to do? Start complaining because we have Elaine Lucas still in there because she made it and Timley made it? You know, they're assuming that they're going to get like the best people in the world under consolidation. I don't buy that because Elaine Lucas, whether you like her or not, has a lot of pull in her area.
Yeah.
So who's to say East Macon doesn't vote her in as one of the final 10?
But that's not why I voted for consolidation. It has nothing to do really with personalities in the council. Regardless, I think there's just too many people there. There are too many
I agree.
decision
I
makers.
completely agree.
And the mayor,
Less is
the mayor
more.
has
You're
no
right.
real authority here. I mean, the mayor's almost a puppet.
Yeah, but the thing about it, the thing about it, consolidation, and then of course, a lot of the attitude is we grow, we expand through the county,
Right.
and therefore we get more money because the bigger our population, the grants are bigger.
That's
My whole thing is, since when does this city become a welfare state?
Well, I mean, that's how
I mean,
almost every city's
this is the
operating
same
right
city.
now.
This is the same city that wants to stop homeless people from bumming from you, but yet they're all about giving us grant money. So what's the difference between them begging for all this money, which they think it's okay to get, but then they don't want the Vietnam vet homeless on the corner here asking for 50 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's the
I
hypocrisy
totally
of the
agree
thing.
with that.
That's the hypocrisy.
It's
of the
only
thing.
hypocritical to an extent because
It is hypocritical.
at least they know they're gonna get the money back. At least if they turn a profit.
No, we don't,
Assuming that
because
they turn a profit.
I don't know whether this grant money doesn't line the pockets of some people around here. You know,
Well, I'm sure
they're bringing money in saying we're going to use it on this, this, and this, but I don't know if this schmo and that schmo is throwing half of that money in his pocket and he's running around town having a good time, or she. And that's the thing about it is, yeah, the pro-consolidation people are fighting for it. But that was what I said earlier. They shot their load too early. They came out too early.
So to
Beep, 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 beep. They came out too early by shoving it down your throat.
Right.
The anti-consolidation people, I don't necessarily agree with them, but they did it right. They didn't start their march
Right.
until the last week or two before voting. And what's going to happen, in my opinion, is the anti-people, the pro-people are so tired of hearing about it. I've had to turn on the TV for the past 3 weeks and hear these guys talk about pro-consolidation that I don't want to hear about it anymore. They've just basically bored the hell out of me. And what I think is going to happen is a lot of people feel that way also. Again, I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm not
Like
pro
I
or
said,
against.
my
I think
concern-
no government's best. But the thing about it is the way they're shipping this to people as less is more, less is better, less government's better. Fine. But we don't know that less government doesn't become more tyrannical or more of a dictatorship. We're just assuming there's less people in office.
But they still
Therefore,
have
it's
more
better.
people. Just
Yeah.
have more. Just have more
And
power.
initially, they're going to have just as many people because they're going to have a task force, of which there's going to be 5 members that are going to be chosen after you have the commission members and the mayor. So you're going to have the mayor, you're going to have the 9 commissioners, and then you're going to still have another 5 people.
No, it's not another 5.
Yeah,
It's
they're doing
10
the task
total.
force as a task force.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're going to be appointed. Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I just put that out on my Facebook page this morning. If you want to take a look at it, but WMAC explains it pretty well.
Let's go to a commercial, guys.
Okay.
Let's go to commercial. We've got a few callers on the line. We'll come back with some callers.
Yep.
You're watching The Morning Roast, the best show in the Middle Georgia area. David, call again. Say your name's like Henry or something. Ask something different. Okay?